Nickstream. And we're off. It is 9:01 a.m. U.S. Pacific Daylight Time. I like to make sure that the streaming is happening on all platforms. YouTube takes a second to register, or 10 or 20 seconds, right? It's Friday, June 30th, 2023 AD. Just checking the stream. Nice. And we're going to have a fun, loosey-goosey Friday show. I hope you enjoy it. What will we cover? What will we cover? Well, LeBron James, Illuminati Satanist? Maybe. Would that be a big surprise? Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. Met up with Volodymyr Zelensky. By the way, so did Mike Pence. All these normie, globo, homo kiss-ups. Pardon my spit. Kissing up to Ukraine. Psst, psst. And blame Russia for the environmental crimes of Russia. And based Clarence Thomas, the one true justice on the Supreme Court. Well, he and Samuel Alito. I believe Alito is okay, right? Shout out to the so-called Supreme Court. They're making some good decisions. Sort of, decent. Better than before, I'll tell you that much. Even though we do still have that rhino in charge as the Chief Justice, John Roberts. Well, I don't know if I want to tell you what all is going on, because I don't tend to get to all the things that I mean to get to. But we'll get to that stuff, hopefully at least. Maybe the France riot. I don't have any clips of it, but I saw some crazy footage on Twitter this morning, today. Ooh, terrible, evil. And I've read a little bit about it in Hake News, this today, and some other stuff. So all that and some beautiful Chinese music. Last day, perhaps, maybe, of Chinese music, or at least successive day. And your calls, guys, if you would like to call in. But anyway, everybody, let's get right on with the show! Nice.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey guys, I feel funny saying hey guys when I have more time on Fridays, because I can talk about what I will talk about, such as the ball earth, obvious globe you're looking at over here on the video feed. We're at the beach.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how you guys doing? La la la. I am fine. I am enjoying the beautiful AJ Gallardo original theme song that we play on Fridays. I am wearing, by the way, a nice, beautiful, it looks bright on the camera. It looks brighter on camera than it is in person. Green t-shirt that I hope you appreciate. It just has California on it. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. Nope, it's California. It's the People's Republic of California. Communist place. But it has some nice palm trees right here, and it says CA. It's cool. And I like the blue there. Right? Nice. Sweet. You have to go find it yourself. This is not a Hake shirt or a JLP shirt, but I have good news, guys. White History Month is coming up. Tomorrow is White History Month, the first day, Saturday. And so It's great for the economy. Tough times right now. You save your money, but you can go to, if you would like, you can get your White History Month T-shirts by going to whitehistorymonth.store. Whitehistorymonth.store, because July just feels white. Celebrate White History Month with Jesse Lee Peterson. And thank you, JLP, for White History Month. This will be our sixth year celebrating it. Started in July of 2018, I want to say it was. Nice. Happy White History Month. Happy early White History Month, everybody. Should I troll you guys and keep playing Jacky and Andy? Or is that too far? Is that too far? Terrible. Hey, does it show poop on the sidewalks? No, it's just, it's not so detailed. But anyway, let me play this for you guys. Just a little clip. That one gal about whom I like to talk, Greta Thunberg, formerly mentally ill Swedish child, hat tip to based Michael Knowles, not to be confused with Matthew Knowles. Michael, right? Of Daily Wire. A Christian man, I believe. Italian. Catholic, maybe. That's okay. JJ_talking says, Ukraine flag emoji, Russia emoji, Zelensky, International Working Group on Environmental, this is going to be clip 51. We're starting off with the Friday equivalent of clip 11, guys. International Working Group on Environmental Crimes. Pine tree emoji of Russia. Laughing face sideways diagonal with scrunched eyes and tears coming out emoji. Greta Thunberg. Some of you guys pronounce it Greta Thunberg. Sporting a lumberjack shirt with a handsaw emoji pointed down. 20 seconds of this poised young woman. I think she's an adult now. Is she an adult yet? 18? I don't know what adult is for Sweden, right? She's Swedish. And mentally ill meaning autistic, I think. She's autistic. A girl autistic. And what did she get into? What did she hyper-focus on? The climate. Propaganda. Scaremongering. Overhype. Communist mess. Here it is. Clip 51, I think. Look at her.
It's very important to have this. You made the decision about this compact of very concrete steps.
What? Why are you getting nervous, Zelensky? Volodymyr, speak with your man voice. It's very. Why are you getting nervous, man? He's nervous in front of a poised young lady. What does this mean? He brushed with the back of his fingers underneath his chin. What does this mean? Thunberg. No, Kevin Howe. He's just playing around. He's pretending to call her like Jewish or something. No, she looks smitten, says Rome 13. I don't know, he seems nervous. She looks so angry, says Max Rex. Yeah, she's R-worded. Oh, Big Bump is saying it too. Is that what that means? No, I think she's smart. Oops, I spit. Sorry, JLP. I don't purposely spit anywhere. So, they're pretending that because war is good for the environment, so let's keep the war going. Not had they surrendered, had Ukraine. I don't know if Kevin Howe would approve this comment. Had they surrendered immediately, the war would not have resulted in environmental disasters. You know, I heard that they broke that dam, right? Tucker Carlson put out speculation, I think. Maybe even with some evidence, which is not really believable. I completely disavow Tucker Carlson for the sake of my channel and any criticism of Ukraine. That possibly Ukraine is the one that blew up that dam that put all these chemicals in the water, like evil chemicals, like E. coli, I think, or maybe not E. coli, but maybe it was. Some of these crazy disease things in the water. Yeah, I need my spittoon. Yeah, that's funny. She was wearing a lumberjack shirt. I mean, it was a flannel shirt. It's fine. It's cool. I'm impressed with her poise. She looks down, holds her head up high. Nice. Becoming a young lady of poise, right? Even though she's... Oh, yeah, you guys were calling her, slow. The R word is for slow. Yeah, I mean, she went viral famously. Greta Thunberg. Samuel from Sweden taught me how to pronounce Greta Thunberg. Greta Thunberg. She's grunge in a bad way. She first went viral going, how dare you? I should be in school. And she traveled, to some other country, maybe even America, talking about she should be in school, but instead she's protesting the climate change and mumbo jumbo. Ridiculous. And then later, she put on this angry face. Am I buying that? I don't know. And then also later, she went viral again because she had another speech where she was talking funny. I'm blanking on what she said and how she said it. That was remarkable. Maybe I'll have to show it to you guys another time. It's bugging me, though. In the meantime, I guess we should move on because I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just found it remarkable that this gal is going to meet with Volodymyr Zelensky. All the worst evil liberals and normies and kiss-ups and globo homo types. Because let's face it, this climate change hype is pushed on the kids, and then the kids have this climate anxiety, and they protest, and they try to do lynch mobs against the adults. She was blaming the adults. What was the other thing that she said? Greta Thunberg. She's spoken at awards shows with the celebrities. And this Zelensky guy, Ukraine, is another globo homo hype. Jump on the trend. Get on the next. I hate the term thing. Psh. Psh. Okay, that's that one. She met with the Canada guy. Ugh, Lord. So anyway, oh man, like the Oscars or some type of celebrity awards. Man, it's just ridiculous. Oh yeah, the blah blah blah. Thank you, and blah blah blah. Which I agree with her on that. She's right about some stuff. Except that she thinks that the blah, blah, blah should be no more talking, a whole lot of talk, right? It shouldn't be a whole lot of talk. It should be action. We need communism globalist redistribution of America's wealth into these third world nations now and into the UN or whatever evil global homo organizations that are even worse than, well, I don't know if you can get worse. They're just as bad and spreading the, I don't know, it's all this evil stuff that she's for, and she doesn't know anything. She should be in school. Anyway. And then Mike Pence went over there to meet with Zelensky. I sort of rolled my eyes a little bit. Mike Pence is making Hake seem wrong for calling him based Mike Pence. I don't know. Maybe he held himself with some dignity. But he's talking crap. Don't say that, kids. About Trump put me in danger or something like that, or violated the Constitution or something. But I would support him if he were the nominee. But I said that because he won't be the nominee. You guys cornered by these mainstream media suckers. You're trying to serve two masters, it seems like, Mike Pence. But that's okay. He's a politician. Politicians, you cut them some slack for being phony. They can't help it. Everybody's phony if you think about it. So that's that for that. Is it true? Yes, you can super chat by going to thehakereport.com. There's a little blue coffee icon in the bottom right, and you click it, and it pops up with this widget thing. Is that what it's called, widget? And you type in your message and give your $3 or $6 or $9 or whatever. Nice. On buymeacoffee.com. That's by going to thehakereport.com. It has it there. It's cool, huh? Thank you. Spoiler alert. Is it true LeBron James... Fix this. Is it true LeBron James is an Illuminati black magic Satanist? Clip 52A. This is from Return of Cappy. Make no mistake, LeBron James practices, that's that tennis player, right? Basketball superstar. I think you can call him a superstar. NBA superstar. Not to be confused with, nice. That's right, little man. I call him a little man because you're not supposed to call blacks boy. Even though he's a little boy. But that's right, little dude. LeBron James. You can call him a superstar, not to be confused with the WNBA superstar Griner, Brittany Griner. Who's your money on? Brittany Griner versus LeBron James, one-on-one. She's a WNBA superstar, if there is such a thing. Nobody has ever heard of the WNBA, barely. He practiced black magic Satanism. It's extremely common, says Return of Cappy, which is a Twitter account. I don't know if this is a reliable source. I shall tell you this. It's extremely common for high-level influencel, not to be confused with incel, entertainers. Hashtag we want answers. Hashtag LeBron. Hashtag satanic ritual. Hashtag Illuminati. 17-second clip of him doing this warm-up thing, and there's some creepy music here. So maybe cover your eyes and ears, kids, ladies, tender-hearted, people who are easily influenced by satanic stuff. This feels like, this is almost as bad as showing the transgender stuff. I don't like to show too much transgender stuff because it's signal boosting. And it's like, I don't want to see that. All these conservatives showing this transgender stuff. But I'm showing this because I haven't seen it before in a while. And it does seem a little creepy, but it's partly because they put creepiness into it. Because they put all these... On this video, they put images of 666, which is, according to the Bible, like the mark of the beast or the number of the beast or something like that, I think. And because this is, when you do this, it's the Illuminati sign. It's not just okay. Yes, it is just okay. Or it's not just white power, which it never was, but it's a troll thing. But they call that the 666. Crazy when you do the index finger, which is the pointer, and thumb together in like a circle, 0 or 3 or 666 or okay or white power. I disavow all that stuff. Nothing is okay. But anyway, he does that. He does these chest bumps, thumps with his fists, and he does like a later in part B, you're gonna see he does this. What is that one Black Panther sign? Cross country, XC, cross country, except with the fist. He crosses his arms across his chest, like the Black Panther imaginary superhero created by unchristian people, probably. Anyway, here's some people say this is Buddhist stuff, like opening his energy. Apparently he's warming up before a game or something. He's like getting out the jitters, nervousness, and doing his ritual. But is it a satanic ritual? You tell me, guys. Here it is.
Ritual.
Whoa. Ugh. Oh, what? Baphomet chest release. Exfoliation, dark magic. Spreading energy around, flicking. Whoa. Whoa. I don't want to show that twice. I feel like I should show it twice, but I don't know if I want to show it twice. Let me ask Hassan if he thinks I should show it a second time. You think I should? Okay. And if you have any input to correct me on any of this, Hassan, please chime in. Here it is, one more time. Spreading it. Here it is, LeBron James. Now, we're not going to do it 3 times because 3 times is truly satanic. So we're only going to do it twice, and we'll stop short. We don't play with Ouija boards. Here it is.
Ritual.
Freemason hand sign, 666 sign of something. Baphomet, that's the goat god fake thing. Dark, is magic real? Spreading the energy around. And the warm-up thing, I noticed that they do like dark in the gyms now because they have their basketball games in gyms, right? It's a gym. I think it's a gym. Is this called a gym? Stadium? I don't know.
Arena.
Arena. Thank you, man. Oh yeah, he knows basketball. What's your take on this, Hassan? They have it dark. Did you notice that they do it dark?
They do during the starting lineups and the warm-up.
I like that. Even though it seems devilish when this person on Twitter put it in this context, because now he's in the dark. But I like it not being so bright all the time.
Yeah, it's
a nice mix.
It's pretty thrilling, when you're there and just all the lights shut off.
Yeah.
Kind of exciting.
What's your take on this, Hassan?
I mean, I'll be the first to say that LeBron is definitely leaning towards this kind of world. And
devilish?
Yeah.
Satanic?
Yeah. And
New Agey?
Yeah. Well, really a Satanist.
Okay.
But this is a stretch, I think.
I think you might be right. Could it be Chinese or like Eastern or India, Buddhist or something like that? Possibly? Any of it?
I don't know. That was interesting when you just said that. It made me think. And potentially, I mean, yeah, you think about a lot of this Indian, Hindu, Buddhist, like
chakras,
yoga,
right?
Stretching, warming up, calisthenics. So potentially, but yeah, I mean, I'm on board with calling him a Satanist. I just think this may be a reach.
He's a Satanist because he believes in Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, and just says a bunch of nut stuff.
Oh, does he?
Yes.
Anything off the top of your head that you can remember?
Well,
I know he said that he would not meet with Trump, but he would meet with Obama, though. That's devilish.
Yeah, and then he said he made a comment about the Jerry Jones thing.
Jerry Jones, who's that?
The owner of the Cowboys, who was in that picture as like a teenager at the Jim Crow.
Okay.
Something or I don't know what.
That's just into the black thing. That's not necessarily. I mean, it is Satan talking into his mind, but it's not like expressly Satanist. It's just.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying like evil things like.
Okay.
That.
All right. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an angry person. Like he pretended, or maybe it really happened. The N-word with the hard R was painted on his gate.
Oh yeah,
up in Brentwood.
I don't believe that either.
And I actually do. I mean, I neither believe it nor disbelieve it. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I am open to either possibility. But he's acting like being in America, being black in America, it's tough. I'm like,
Exactly.
come on, man. Give me a break. It's
Yeah,
only
OJ
tough because of the blind brainwashing. And he is an angry guy. I mean, he was raised with a single mother,
Yeah.
I think. And she's still involved to this day. He tells her shut up. Well, he once told her shut up, which I don't blame him. Based. No. And he has thinning hair, by the way, up top. I can sympathize. But he has that, and yet he does the BS barbershop bogus speech show, right? Doesn't he have barbershop?
Yeah. The shop.
Yeah. And he talks. Maybe he's like a fake dude. Well, I mean, all do-gooders are fake, right? He's a fake do-gooder. He did that Promise School in Akron, Ohio. He's from Akron. Nice. Ohio. Is he the best ever?
Absolutely not.
Third best?
I mean,
Second?
I have extreme bias against him, so
Based on politics and morals,
No,
or based
off
on
of-
his attitude? Because
no, off of just his game.
his game is not as.
I don't think he's top 10.
Whoa, is that jealousy talking?
No.
Because you're a baller yourself.
No, that is being able to see that
Yeah.
really he's not very good.
Okay,
He's really not.
he's
To
very
say
good.
that he's
very good. Come on,
He's
very
really
good.
not.
Don't you have to be very good to be like mentionable? It's not just all a psyop, surely.
Well, no, his physical size and body mass has something to do with it.
Yeah, he exercises pretty well, right?
Well, I don't know about that, but
I'm assuming
I'm assuming so too. Yeah,
his physique is not too sloppy.
but yeah, his physical matter and him not really getting hurt throughout his career has helped a lot.
Well, that's important. I mean, that's speaks to good discipline and getting enough rest, maybe stretching.
True,
So I respect not getting injured.
I do too.
Yeah.
But his physical body has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, he's huge.
Yeah,
I think.
But if you compare him to Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant, skill for skill, like, to me, it's not even close.
Considering how tall he is it pretty good? Is it pretty impressive how athletic he is? Because a lot of tall people, they're more lumbering and lanky, where he doesn't strike me as lumbering and lanky. So it's
Yeah, but I think he's only. I think he's 6'8". So
and what is Jordan? What is Jordan?
Jordan's
and
like
what was
6'6".
What was Kobe?
I think 6'6" as well.
Oh, okay. That's just 2 inches.
Yeah, so he's not like Shaq,
Right.
Or
Who's a footer.
in the 7 foot zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is definitely. He definitely revolutionized the.
You're talking LeBron?
Yeah, the fact that he was that big and was still almost playing point guard in a lot of ways. So kind of like a glorified Magic Johnson in that sense. So, yeah, he has definitely, I guess, affected the game. But, yeah, I think he's extremely overrated.
Okay. Let's play this part B just to finish off this reaction. Here he is kneeling with that Satanic. Kneeling like evil, non-football legend, but talented football player. Light-skinned, mixed race, raised by whites. Colin Kaepernick, who's sponsored by Nike to be evil, for being evil. Kneeling against America and pretending that blacks are such victims. It's a Black Lives Matter kneel, right? Against America, against the flag, against white people. against police and just being a blind brainwashed sucker with the Black Lives Matter t-shirts. NBA, scum of the earth. It's the NBA. Officially. Here's further proof LeBron James is a black magic Satanist. Hashtag we want answers. This is Return of Cappy with a K. Hashtag LeBron James. Hashtag Nike. And yes, I do have content. Doom Jesus. Here it is. 30 seconds. Oh, this music. And it's slow motion. Okay, so he thumps his chest. And then he points to the Lord, Jesus Christ, or God. Or both. But he's pretending to do that. Because then he does the triangle symbol, Illuminati. And then he does the OK sign, white power, 666. And then he does the... I don't know what that thing is. I don't know what that was. And then he kneels. He does the Black Panther, hands across your chest, black thing. At least he didn't do the communist Black Power fist, you know. He did this thing, which is goofy. Ever since Chadwick Boseman, rest in peace. And he's wearing jewelry, like rings on his finger. See his hair? A little thin there. That's how you can tell he has white blood in him, right? Or do blacks go bald naturally too? Africans. This has flat earth written all over it. He said his God is the devil right there, says Dan. What a creep. Yeah. Any response on that stuff?
Those are finger guards.
Oh, finger guards. Okay, not jewelry.
Yeah.
You wearing a ring? You getting married? Terrible.
It's just a mess.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just
showing
black.
off.
It just seems like black stuff. Now, have you ever you've competed in basketball before, right, Hassan?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you ever do rituals like this or anything, or physical practices to ground yourself or align yourself with the physical world? Get your mind with your body?
Yeah, I've done a whole lot of mess when I was growing up playing basketball. I mean, when I was a child, I was so obsessed with Allen Iverson that I got my hair braided.
Whoa.
I used to have on those finger guards.
Who raised you? That they let you braid your hair?
Mama.
I thought
and
so.
headbands and wristbands, and I'd be in middle school with a Sharpie and the tattoos on.
Wow.
I mean, it's really ridiculous.
Yeah. Yikes. Did any of that stuff help?
You know, I guess at that time it did feel like it, yeah.
Because I knew someone, I used to play soccer on Saturday afternoons with the Chupacabras, with Baldwin Park, California League, Baldwin Park League with the Mexicans. And I knew one guy who did the 7 chakras or 5 chakras or something like that, where he spun around like 21 times with his palms up. And that's actually kind of good. Get dizzy a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you're more on it, possibly, maybe.
Yeah.
And he did different, like the downward dog or something like that, or did some different stretches and leg lift type things, and it was 5 or 7 chakras. You know what chakras are?
Yeah,
It's different parts of your body that, I don't know if it's glands.
Yeah.
But people think that it's devilish or New Age or Hindu or Buddhist or something like that. Somebody in the responses to this guy said it's Buddhist, which is what made me think, oh, maybe it's... And he seems like he's just getting out the jitters and just doing his thing, doing some black stuff, doing some fake God stuff, and all that stuff. Hake was a goat sucker. Yeah. Chupacabras. Chupacabras, AC. Shout out to the Baldwin Park Chupacabras. But it seemed like it helped ground that guy. He had some good games after he did that stuff.
The Mexican?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Keep your chakras open. But nowadays, like the black rappers are talking about chakras.
It's true.
The young whippersnappers. And it seems like a replacement for God. But there may be some, like Nick, American Anchor Baby, has said, like there's a little bit of truth in some of those things. Like it's just physically beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, for the past couple of days, I've been taking my shoes off and just walking on the grass.
Yeah.
And doing whatever they call grounding.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Where you put your bare feet on the ground.
Yeah, and it has seemed to help. Maybe it's just in my mind.
Right.
But
maybe. But it's also like you're in the world, you're in your body. Yeah, and you should not go into your imagination and stress and the future and the past and nervousness about a game and being all into some game and stuff like that. So it seems like it might be. That's how the devil spirit gets in. says Carver 531. I think the devil spirit, if it does get in that way, that may be, but it gets in very Buddhist. JLP and Hake are Buddhists, says Lamprey Poetry, who believes in the flat earth. So we'll take what he says with a grain of salt. But some of the Buddhist stuff, like it's just, some of it's just reality, yeah. I think.
Yeah,
so.
I agree.
Mina's mocking us. I walked on the grass barefoot. Whoa, deep. Let me show these tweet responses, guys. Speaking of LeBron. So this guy who said this about LeBron is getting mocked, but some people agree with it. Gotta harvest that energy while the crowd is giving it, says one guy. Batman. And so that's interesting. That seems sort of devilish, getting all into the energy from the crowd. That's selfishness, ego, making something seem so important. Ryan says, those are Buddhist mudras, dude. Mudras. Ever heard of that? You have some serious psychological issues that need to be addressed. Get help, says Ryan. Raymond on, these are Twitter replies. That black magic must be absolute crap. Don't say that, kids. Because King James is one of the worst basketball players ever. So I don't know if you would go that far. Would you, Hassan?
I would.
Whoa. One of the worst BB players ever. Dang.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Nice. You ever gonna start the show? Asked Doom Jesus. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. I just wanted to address that stuff a little bit. That is part of the show. Well, that's the show, guys. BG Mitch 909 says the similarities between Buddhism and Christianity are more than you may think. Oh, in your face, eat that, Kevin Howe. Yeah, isn't Buddhism about loving kindness? Except they don't deal with the world. Maybe were those Buddhists who came from the East, the three wise men, the three kings from the Orient, the three Orientals, to see Jesus following that star? Ooh, that's not astrology, is it? Earthing versus grounding. Same thing, I guess. Hake's about to prove me right, since Lamprey Poetry. I don't even know Buddhism. You know more Buddhism than I do. Let me get to a real guy, a good black, one of the good ones. Based Clarence Thomas. Clip 53. This is from Terry Green, USA. Clarence Thomas, this was on Twitter, spoke at Heritage Foundation. This was perhaps some years back. I don't know. You can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north, despite your disorientation and your sexual disorientation. Sorry, kids. I meant to say S-wordal disorient, because some people are S-wordly disoriented. Morally disoriented. Gender disorientation. Misidentity. You can be in a thunderstorm. North is still north. People can yell at you. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, and I believe he's referring to politics and courts, and so-called justice. He says right is still right even if you stand by yourself. Justice, Clarence Thomas. And I just said what he's about to say, but he says it better. Here it is. Clip 53. Justice, Clarence Thomas.
You can be in the middle of a hurricane, or you can be on a calm day. North is still north. You could be in a thunderstorm. North is still north. People can yell at you. North is still north. It doesn't change fundamental things. And in this business, right is still right, even if you stand by yourself.
Nice. Right on, man. Base Clarence Thomas. He used to be an educated fool. His grandpa, I believe, called him an educated fool because he turned all LeBron James on his grandpa because he went to school and he got turned all radical black into the black thing. And then at some point, he came back to his senses and became a godly man, unshakable man. Shout out to the Supreme Court, the so-called Supreme Court, with their plurality of rhinos. Am I right? Don't they have a plurality of rhinos, meaning the most, it's not the most, but there's like 4 rhinos, 2, including a woman, by the way, a couple of base Republicans, Justice Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito, the 2 most under fire guys being accused of like rubbing elbows with billionaires like they all don't, and not declaring different things like they have to, they shouldn't. Stupid. Being accused by some of the most corrupt, disgusting, lacking in integrity people, such as the mainstream media, ProPublica, whatever that is, maybe Chuck Schumer, maybe Dick Durbin, I forget who. Maybe, well, all those Republican demon rats. And 3 demon rats. So a plurality of meaning it's a liberal court because rhinos are liberals. They're just a little bit more sensible on some things than the demon rats, who are just pretty much pure evil. And their mind is like almost gone. But not all the way gone, because I think even Sonia Sotomayor defends Clarence Thomas at times. She has a nice relationship with him, a friendship. Sonia Sotomayor, this Obama appointee who said, oh, a wise Latina needs to be on the Supreme Court. And so she thinks she's a wise Latina, being all into her ethnicity, race-a-jigger. But shout out to the so-called Supreme Court. Even Cortez went after Clarence Thomas, saying, oh, he needs to be impeached. He needs to be impeached. With her mildly attractive self. She needs to be moving out from her live-in boyfriend, beta white guy. Shameful. Embarrassing. Terrible. Hake needs a teleprompter, says same cloth. I know, I just wait till, anyway, I get on Tucker level. Make Christian rightful discrimination great again. Rightful discrimination. Righteous discrimination. Discrimination based on what's right. Discrimination is a basic right of all people. Undiscerning Hake. Race him a what? Race him a jigger. Because she's a white Hispanic. Or maybe she's like what is that? Asian Hispanic? Because she's part American Indian? Or whatever she is. Sonia Sotomayor. Like we talked about yesterday, they said, oh, affirmative action's no good, but they said, oh, based on race, you can't specifically get preferential treatment based on race, but they can talk about how race has affected them or them being suffering from the imaginary racism. And it's pathetic, silly, stupid. You heard on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, if you listened to it, I think in the first hour, how the sleepy Joe Biden administration sent, which is the Obama administration continued, let's be honest, sent guidance to the evil colleges and universities, most of which you should boycott anyway, but for admitting people based on experienced adversity, including racism and poverty. And so they're being pathetic. Sonia Sotomayor stated, with let them eat cake obliviousness, today the majority pulls the ripcord and announces colorblindness for all by legal fiat. But deeming race irrelevant in law does not make it so in life. And having all of this so far is fine. Like, I don't have a problem with what she's saying because it's fine. It's fine. Colorblind law. But in life, that's true. That's true because Derek Chauvin would not have been charged were he not white and convicted were he not white. They would not have rioted were he not white. Derek Chauvin. It's a fact. It's a fact. I think. Pretty sure. And those, those 5 black cops on one black who was resisting arrest and running from the cops and stuff, when they manhandled him, well, if it were 5 white cops, I don't think that they would have treated him like that. But had they done that, then there would have been much bigger riots, I think. Because it's an anti-white world. Globo homo. And so the Sotomayor lady, and I use the term a little loosely, but she continues, having so detached itself from this country's actual past and present experiences, the court has now been lured into interfering with the crucial work that UNC, University of North Carolina, and other institutions of higher learning are doing to solve America's real-world problems. This imaginary racism is not a problem. It's not a problem. No one benefits from ignorance, she states. Although formal race-linked legal barriers are gone, race still matters to the lived experiences. What? You're a Supreme Court justice. You're not supposed to say lived experiences? Where's my spittoon? She wants to say lived experiences. You guys understand why I'm reacting to that? That's a woman word, and she's a woman. That's a liberal woman word. She's a liberal woman. That's probably a POC anti-white word because they're pretending that they're lived experiences of racism and misogyny and homophobia or something. But she's a normal person, straight, right? Morally straight. Well, not that morally straight if she's a demon rat. 2 lived experiences. Watch Hake starts using that word. Terrible. Race still matters to the lived experiences of all Americans in innumerable ways. I know, because they hate white people so bad. And then the white people hate them back. And today's ruling makes things worse, not better. Or the white people just respond in fear and cowardice and kissing up, which is also hate. The best that can be said of the majority's perspective is that it proceeds ostrich-like. Ostrich-like, because ostriches, I guess they bury their head in the sand. That's what she's trying to say. Wow, that's insulting language. That's dehumanizing. We're humans. From the hope that preventing consideration of race will end racism, which doesn't exist, lady. But if that is the motivation, blah, blah, blah. Dumb. And make real, rightful discrimination great again. Christians can once again discriminate. I saw this relatively recently today. You heard it on the Jacky Lee Peterson show. I don't know where I put it, though. But anyway, I have it here on my phone. I screenshotted. Like, I got several headlines. Okay, 5. A few headlines. A 5 means few. 6, 7, that's several. Los Angeles Times. Supreme Court rules Christian web designer can turn away business related to so-called same-sex weddings. Los Angeles Times didn't put so-called, but they pretend that same-sex weddings is real. Fake news. Very fake news extremist outlet. Los Angeles Slimes. They wrote whole books against Trump. Breaking news from Commie Nonsense Network, CNN. Supreme Court says Christian business owner can refuse to create same-sex websites. Nice. Same-sex marriage websites, I mean. Washington Compost. Supreme Court sides with web designer who refuses to do gay wedding sites. Breaking news from Fox News. Faux news. So-called Supreme Court rules in case of graphic artist. That's what I wanted to be. But I didn't want to do websites. I wanted to do CD covers. And now CDs are obsolete. Compact discs. Ever heard of them? Zoomers? Who refused to create same-sex wedding websites. Wall Street Journal, in a case that pitted so-called gay rights. No such thing as gay rights. The so-called gays, which is not what they are, should have the same normal rights as the whole rest of the normal people. Everybody else. They don't get special rights or against discrimination. There's no such thing as a right against discrimination. In the case that pitted so-called gay rights against free speech, the Supreme Court ruled the First Amendment entitles a business to refuse to do work for a same-sex couple. Nice, right on. You know, it's obvious to anybody with any common sense, with common sense, that, and this has been going on for years, the gay wedding cake. Remember that Masterpiece Cake Shop? That Florida man, I think it was, who refused to bake the cake for the so-called same-sex wedding. He had served the gays before, but he didn't want to do a fake wedding cake because he didn't want his conscience. And there were flower bouquet makers, flower shop people who were, what do you call it? Ambushed by the homosexual radical groups in like Oregon or Washington or somewhere, and they do it. It feels like it's specifically vengeful and targeting the Christians. And normal people might now even non-Christians. It just doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense that you pretend that this is a real thing. You treat them fairly, but doesn't mean that you're forced to do business. We reserve the right to refuse business to anyone. There are signs in like restaurants and stores that used to say that. No shirt, no shoes, no service, and we reserved the right to refuse business to anyone, service to anyone. Nice. That means you have a basic right to discriminate with your business. Duh. And they pretend that, if we get rid of all anti-discrimination laws, they should strike down all anti-discrimination laws, but they don't do that. I wonder if that'll change Colorado's rules, because Colorado has this evil law or evil human rights commission or something like that attacks the Christians based on transgender cake. I think they tried to do a transgender cake on that guy who did the Masterpiece Cake Shop thing. Crazy. Woo. But they should get rid of all anti-discrimination laws. You can discriminate, in my opinion, based on race, gender, religion. You can discriminate against Christians. You can discriminate against Black Hebrew Israelites. You can discriminate against even the Jewish people. You can discriminate against the Satanists. You can discriminate against LeBron James. Because you can't force people to love you. That's only breeding resentment and frivolous lawsuits. Oh, you fired me because of racism. You think you're racist. It's dumb. Most people are not going to start discriminating based on those things all of a sudden. They may sometimes do it. They may sometimes get a bad vibe based on race and other things. But the whites are the most serving people in the world. Anyway. That's about enough for that. I didn't realize I had took up the whole hour. I'm going to get to your calls, guys. I'm going to get to any super chats that I have not checked out. But it's time for some music. How about that? Chinese music, actually. This is Last Day of Jacky. Be Sad. This is She's Far Away. This is the live version. I've played this song before, but not the live version, I think, I'm pretty sure. By Jacky Cheung. Let me, just copy paste in the folder. In your chat. And search it. Yao, Y-A-O, Yong, Y-O-N-G, De, D-E, or De, Ta, T-A. And that means far away, she. She's far away. It's from the 1986 album, Amour, / Yao Yang de Ta, which means love in Spanish or something. And she, far away, she. Enjoy, press mute, grin and bear it, you musical Philistines. Go outside, shovel snow, plant your garden, harvest your crops, crack the whip, get the whip cracked on you, and be tough, don't cry. And be a good master and a good servant. And I'll be back shortly. Hope you enjoy it, you musical Philistines.
Hey, good day, 讓晚風輕輕吹送了落霞，我已習慣每個傍晚去想他，在遠方的他，此刻可知道，這段情在我心始終記掛。在這半山這天，我知快將要別離沒說話。望向他，卻聽到他說不要相約，縱使分隔相愛，不會害怕。遙遙萬里，心聲有否偏差？正是讓這愛試出真與假。遙遠的他，彷彿這風聲跟我話，熱情若冇變，哪管它滄桑變化。但這天收到他爸爸的一封信，信裏面說血癌已帶走他。
Isn't this nice?
覺得空虛的心彷彿已高化。
So good. I like it.
過去是像炮彈，心中爆炸。
This is legitimately a good song. Great
在
song.
這半山這天，我悲痛不已在胡亂説話。
Jacky.
夜雨中，只聽到他說不要相約，縱使分隔相愛，不會害怕。人無覓處，心聲有否偏差？
This music isn't horrible for a change.
正是讓這愛試出真與假。
What a strong voice.
遙遠的他，彷彿這風聲跟我話，熱情若冇變，哪管它滄桑變化。
This So good. Nice. He knows. Papa. Hake, the Christian hardcore community, disavows this. Well, thank you guys for bearing with me through that beautiful.
我唱翻隻喺咁多晚都冇唱嘅，但喺其實喺巡迴演唱嘅時候咧，我成日都有唱呢個歌。喺演唱會上面，我覺得亦都係好適合唱呢個歌嘅，喺度送俾所有嘅。
Nice, thank you, Jacky. I appreciate that. Some super chats that came in. I appreciate you guys bearing with me through that. Did you fade that out, or did you? Okay, nice. On buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report, Star Peterson Sion bought a coffee, and I disavow that name. Thank you, Star Sion. Appreciate it. Carver bought a coffee saying, affirmative action is finally ended, and I cannot help but notice the timing. The whites and Asians were divided, but one brave radio host took it upon himself to take back June. We took back June. We took it back. June is a beautiful month, irregardless of the globo homos trying to pervert and pollute it with their mess, pretending that they have a false pride in their false identity. What a mess. No, that's Satan in you. You're possessed. Everyone is possessed. But one brave radio host took it upon himself to take back June and have AAPI month, Asian American and Pacific Islander month, Heritage month, and White History month back to back. Nice. Standing together side by side, affirmative action was defeated, said Carver. Is this just a coincidence? Or as based fallen state guest Scott Adams would say, Hake found the levers to manipulate the universe. Nice, Carver. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Sweet. On streamlabs.com/The Hake Report, Riley JM stated with a generous super chat donation. This is streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. I appreciate your show, man. Well, thank you, Riley JM. I appreciate your support and the chat and all that. Riley JM with another one, actually spelled Wiley JM, because the R was left off somehow. Might have been a typo or a glitch in the computer or a flaw in the keyboard, who knows. Says Demon Rat, a.k.a. Democratic Republican. Yeah, that's right. I call them demon rats. Yeah, we have a liberal majority on the court. But thankfully, it's a little bit better than it was, a little bit less worse than it was under Obama. Nice. Thank you to President Trump for nominating and confirming those rhinos to the court. They are rhinos, but we'll take them, right? Most people are rhinos. John WX25 says, shout out to Hassan for knowing basketball, but Wilt is the GOAT. GOAT, greatest of all time. Does he live to this day? Wilt Chamberlain? I don't think so. I haven't heard his name lately, right? He's dead, right? Wilt Chamberlain?
I'm pretty sure it expired, yeah.
Rest in peace, Wilt Chamberlain. You heard it here last. Hake news is late news. Wilt Chamberlain died.
He did score 100 points in a game,
Whoa.
but it's up to debate on who he was scoring the points on. I mean, back then, like, me and you could have been in the NBA.
Nice.
So
You and I.
there you go.
Right. But
So-
was he beta? This John WX25 says wasn't beta.
He definitely. Well, it depends what you say. I mean, he's also on record of doing the S word with over
Ooh.
10,000 women. So.
Whoa. That's too much. That's too many. That seems
So-
beta to me.
Exactly. So I
That's
don't
so
know.
alpha is beta again.
And the 100 points got to have an asterisk next to it because I'm telling you, the people that were playing at that time, I mean, it would be.
It was not Jungle Ball like it is today.
Well, not even just that. It just was.
Or it was Jungle Ball back then.
They were just. Yeah, it just.
It was not refined and
Yeah, it wasn't as athletic.
yeah. Fair enough.
So,
Played every minute of every game for years, according to him.
also probably true, but you know.
Track and field star and conservative, which was why he and Jabbar didn't get along.
Oh, interesting.
I did not know that.
That's interesting.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar he comes off as a beta. I mean, I
true.
get that he was probably a really talented player, and he played kung fu with wasn't he the one who played kung fu with Bruce Lee? I think he was.
Maybe.
He trained somebody. I think it was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jordan, Magic, Bird, Dr. J, and Wilt, all-time 5, says John WX25. What do you say to that?
I like that.
All right. Okay. So even though you counter-signaled Wilt Chamberlain a bit, you would accept a 5th place.
But I'm taking Shaq over Wilt.
Oh, okay. All right.
I wonder what he thinks about that.
Did Wilt shoot free throws better than Shaq?
That's a good question. I think so. Shaq was notoriously pretty bad.
He needed to put some arc in his shot. Just because he's at the level of the hoop doesn't mean he just shoots it straight at the hoop.
Yeah. Kobe Bryant
Bend
once.
your knees, man.
Kobe Bryant once said,
Or finesse.
if you actually cared about your health or about wanting to optimize your ability, you could win 10 championships.
Nice.
It probably was true.
That's funny, man. And so you would put Shaq ahead of Kobe, though.
Well, Shaq's my number 2 of all time.
Okay. Behind who?
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Nice.
Shaq literally changed the rules of the game. They literally had to change the game. Like, they literally changed the rules.
Wow.
Because of him.
He was fairly athletic for a big man, but he was more lumbering.
Yeah,
But he was huge. He's a footer. He's 7 foot something.
But you're right. His younger days, he was very
Yeah, he could pull.
mobile.
He could pull some moves.
Yeah.
And he was so big and strong that people were just dangling off of his arms, trying to foul him and prevent him from scoring a basket. He would still score.
It was men amongst boys.
Yeah. It was like President Trump against all the rhinos on the 2015 or 2016 primary debate.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah. Oh, some of the chat was asking if you could be on camera.
Oh, yeah.
It's a little late,
Yeah, it is.
but you can come on
About
camera.
to sign off.
Nice. This is who was talking just now. Oh, I should point it this way. This is who was talking just now. I'm pointing this way, even though he's over there. Well, thank you, Hassan. Appreciate the feedback.
Yep. Number 1 is Air. Number 2 is Diesel.
That's funny. That's nice. That's cool. Well, thank you, guys, for the super chat, and thank you, Hassan. Sats super chats. There's a couple more that came in on D Live. DJ Onpa with a couple of diamonds here. Jean Paul. Shout out to the real Mr. Meats. Only feats. I don't know what that means. I disavow it. In case it's bad. It's sad to say goodbye to Jackie. Later, whore. He says, don't say whore too much, kids. Or not at all if your mom doesn't let you. But I learned it as a normal word. It's just a normal word. You don't say it too much because it's about a vulgar thing. But Jackie is spelled with a Y, not Jacie. K-I-E, whatever. Well, Jacky Cheung is coming up at the end of this hour here, at the end of this show today. So hope you stay tuned and enjoy it. You can let me know if you didn't enjoy it. At long last, I would be remiss were I not to get to a call or two, guys. You can call in 1-888-775-3773. Frederick is in Los Angeles, California. Thanks for calling and holding, Frederick. What's up, man? Are you there, Frederick? Come off of mute. You're on mute, you boomer. Shout out to the boomers. He's not even a boomer. Gen X. Frederick! Let me put him on hold. I guess we'll check on him. Fake news, we're not getting into calls. But you can call in. Again, that's 1-888-775-3773. Let's get to this, though. That Muslim mayor. I don't want to talk about France right now. We'll get to France in a second. That Muslim mayor of London, I talked about him earlier. Is this signal boosting? It's a little bit vulgar. It's slightly vulgar, but at least it's not like a vulgar person dancing. It's a vulgar person holding a vulgar plaque. This is a picture from BBC News, the far left British outlet, far left extremist British outlet, BBC. Do I have this in the folder? Yeah, London mayor, gay plaques, history. Just a little tweet here. Look at that guy. That's the Muslim mayor of London. They have a Muslim mayor of London, and he's not even white. I guess the FBI would consider him white, right? If he were to commit a crime or a terrorist act. London Pride 2023, false pride and false identity. 5 rainbow plaques to be installed across London. And it's pushed by this Muslim mayor. I thought the Muslims didn't support this immorality. S-word all, immorality. To celebrate LGBTQI plus history. And this plaque reads, beautiful thing, 1996. This plaque commemorates a beloved coming out, which is kind of like what Obama and Biden did in 2012 to support so-called same-sex marriage, which isn't even real. It's not real. It's not real. It's liars, the wolves in sheep's clothing, falsely validating the gays in their wrong thinking. They have the wrong mindset about life and marriage. What a mess. And coming of age. Don't you like coming of age movies? Cinema classic. The renowned scene at the Gloucester was filmed here. Directed by Hattie MacDonald. Hattie MacDonald. Screenplay by Jonathan Harvey. MacDonald, that's, I don't know. I was going to say something about the Irish, but I can't slander the Irish because I don't know if that's from them. Terrible. So wrong. That's what I mean by trendy globo homo. They act like they're so oppressed. They're kissed up to by all the most so-called worldly fake powerful people. He's not Muslim, he's a politician. They are godless, says Matthew. Yeah, but most Muslims support the demon rats in America. The Democrats, which is support, they're naturally conservative. No, they're not. That's not a conservative religion. Some of them are a little bit more conservative. But by and large, they support total degeneracy and hatred towards Christians and whites and in the form of supporting the Democrats, and complaining about Islamophobia every time there's a terror attack by one of the Muslims that are supposedly conservative. They pretend that those Muslims are conservative. They're not. They're liberals because they're angry. Anyway, I know. Here's this French BLM riot. Or is it BLM? I don't know. You can take that down, please. We're taking back the rainbow. We took back the rainbow successfully, Hassan and I. Or Hassan did, really. But he announced it on Hake's show. And on JLP's show. The rainbow was God's promise. And then they tried to pervert it by turning it horizontal and take away the bow part and make it support evil stuff, degeneracy. But Hassan took it back by supporting that one guy. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs. France BLM riot, though. This French BLM riot, and I don't even know if it's BLM. The deadly shooting of a teenage boy in France has many calling for justice. Did I read this to you guys already? Earlier this week, police allegedly shot and killed a 17-year-old. This is from the far-left females at the Skim yesterday. That was, I guess, day 2 or 3 of the riots. I guess today was day 3 or yesterday was day 3. 17-year-old during a traffic stop in a Paris suburb. Wow, stay out the suburbs of Paris. I hear Paris is dirty. I've told you that before, guys. You guys probably know more than I do. The teen identified as Nael. Now, I read it differently. I read Nahel. Now there's, and that was from CNN. And this one is saying Nael. M, last name M, I guess, is reportedly of Algerian descent. Algeria. Is that white or is that black or neither? Or is that Arab? North Africa. Oh, that doesn't tell me. Algerian descent. Oh, yes. What are they doing? What are so many of those people doing in France? I wouldn't go to France because France is no longer France. France is no longer France. That's what Trump said in that famous running for president video by Placeboying. It's a great video remix of Trump running for office. He said France is no longer France, and that's a fact. They get in Paris. They've had multiple terror attacks. Remember, Je suis Charlie Hebdo. I am this slightly vulgar, irreverent comic thing because they got shot up by the Muslims or something like that. Crazy. Was Paris where they also had the terror attack on that 13-year-old girls concert? 13-year-old looking girls concert? The one who was ex-girlfriends with Pete Davidson and ex-girlfriends with that guy who overdosed, the Jewish rapper. I always forget his name. Mac Miller. I can't believe I don't remember her name. Was it in Paris that she... Was that a Paris concert attack? Ariana Grande. Was it Paris? November 2013, Paris attack. Might have been. Yeah. Oh, that was Manchester. That was Manchester. Grande concert terror. I don't know, somewhere. I mean, all across Europe and even the... Manchester sounds like the UK. England. Manchester, England. 2017. Wow, I didn't know Manchester... I didn't know that was a Manchester arena bombing. They bombed it. And I think they shot it up, too. Suicide bombing. We used to call it, that's not suicide bombing, that's homicide bombing. Crazy. 2017. Evil stuff going on in poor Europe. Authorities initially said the teen drove his car toward police, prompting an officer to shoot. However, video of the alleged incident shows an officer pointing his gun at the driver of a stopped car. There's a gunshot heard in the video as the car pulls away and later crashes. Officers said Nael, or Nahel, Nael, I guess, is how the ladies at the Skim, the far left ladies at the Skim. Oh, she's like 30? Well, I don't know. I try not to look at that gal. She seems too vulgar and devilish. A trail of suicide and overdoses follows her. Anyway, nice voice, though, I think. Officials said Nael died of gunshot wounds to the chest. His death has sparked unrest, and meaning riots, insurrections, violent riots and protests in Paris, unjustified protests, of course, right? And surrounding towns, because they hate the whites, they hate authority, they hate the cops, and they love to push around the whites, the French. Now authorities have opened 2 investigations into the so-called tragedy. They call it a tragedy. I don't know if I would call that a tragedy. If it was a justified shooting, it was, I suppose it's a tragic story. We've heard of tragic stories in these beautiful songs by based Elvis Presley and based, not Johnny Carson, Johnny Cash, about these people who've shot people and got themselves killed, that in the ghetto, he had a gun and he got him and he died in the ghetto. But it was sort of justified what happened to him. And it's put a spotlight on the French policing system. And you could say, yeah, the cops are a little out of hand. But that's because a whole lot of the people are out of hand. And so the people become cops. And the people are also the cops have to deal with these out of hand people. Especially, well, in this case, this Algerian may or may not have been out of hand. Who knows? And we all know about what's the people who are out of hand in America. Oh, yes, let's scrutinize policing and not the out-of-control people. Give me a break. Nael's death is reportedly the second in France this year involving a police shooting during a traffic stop. Last year, 13 people died in a similar way, a record in France. That means it's a lot of out-of-control people, right? Activists, the scum of the earth, most of the time, say the country has a history of discriminatory policing tactics that mostly target people of African and Arab descent. Maybe because those people are less compliant, which can be a plus, but in this case it's not. Asians known to be very compliant. At least the East Asians, right? Sometimes. Whites, fairly compliant. They sometimes they don't. Blacks, And Arabs, apparently not, according to this. Seems logical to guess that that's why. Anyway. Meanwhile, French President Emmanuel Macron, a far-left liberal extremist, who got along with Trump. I liked him for that. He married that gal who's 25 years older than him. Have to mention that every time I think of him. He met her when he was 15. She was like 35 or 40. 30. She was 15. I don't know. Maybe she's not 25 years older than him. That's going to bug me if I don't look it up. But I can refuse to look it up. I'm tough. People accuse me of having OCD, whatever that is. I'm not going to look that up either. Emmanuel Macron called Nael's death inexplicable and inexcusable. Opening your big mouth, Emmanuel Macron. How are you going to... Okay, well, I haven't seen anything about it, right? I haven't seen the video. Maybe he saw the video and found it inexplicable and inexcusable. But I happen to know, I happen to suspect, I happen to be under the probably accurate impression that Emmanuel Macron is a kiss-up. And so he's not going to call it inexcusable because it actually is inexcusable. He's going to be running his big mouth, kissing up, and justifying the false anger of the people who don't care about this Nael guy who got himself killed, allegedly. This morning, Macron held a crisis meeting. Oh, this is yesterday morning. Held a crisis meeting. And I think he held another crisis meeting today, or he's gonna. Gonna is short for going to. It's not a real word. Kids, don't write it as gonna, except in informal writing. But it's not a good habit to have if you're going to do formal writing. But if you do, then just be aware so that you don't, I mean, come on, who's going to, in the formal writing, do that? Anyway, this morning, Emmanuel Macron held a crisis meeting, blah, blah, blah. At least 150 protest-related arrests were made. I think it was like 300 or 400 now. Dude, I don't have any video footage for you guys. Dude, it's a foul. But I saw them like hijacking buses allegedly, fires in the street, breaking into Apple stores, which I'm fine with that because is Apple evil? Do they support like Black Lives Matter, dumb stuff? Evil
Yeah,
stuff?
now they are.
Yeah. And I like Tim Cook, but he's no Steve Jobs. And also he's not exactly morally straight, and we happen to know about it. He apparently told people. Ugh. That they need to bring back the rainbow into the apple. Return to godliness. The godliness that they had in the 80s and 90s or whenever it was. I don't know if that was true. But she's 24 years older, says Big Bump. Thank you, man. See, I didn't have to look it up. My source told me the truth. 24 years older. She was his school teacher, Emmanuel Macron. That's okay. They're French. They can't help it. The French, they're known to be like that. Apple deplatformed. Armed. Alex Jones, says Greenwall. Yeah, so did based Elon Musk. So we'll give Apple a pass. Just say Hake deplatformed him, my competitor. I deplatformed my competitor, Alex Jones. Anyway, a French police union said the officers have, quote, the right to the presumption of innocence, unquote. Yeah, that's right. Don't make me side with these police unions. Unions are evil, oftentimes. Most of the time. A lawyer for Nael's family said that they plan to file a complaint accusing the officer, who is in custody, of murder. A march in Nael's memory was expected yesterday. Silly. I'm saying that instead of stupid. Because I don't want to say that too much in front of the kids. I mean, I don't like kids saying... I don't think that the parents like the kids saying stupid too much. But I guess we don't need to react emotionally to dummies being dummies. It's not like it's a surprise. Don't say dummies, kids. Nael's... Unless you listen to Evil is Real, who says it's fine to say those things. Nael's death has added to the feelings of mistrust in France's policing practices. Too, ladies. That's the mainstream media, though, sowing lies and unjustified suspicion on the people who are trying to bring some order. And granted, a lot of the cops have enforced evil politician stuff, right? Many are speaking out against the violence. What violence? Which violence are you speaking out against? The violence of the riots of the evil anti-white people? Because that's what it is. It's anti-white. Let's be honest. Am I right? I'm pretty sure it's anti-white. It's evil, though. It's anti law and order, which is anti-white. Many are speaking out against the violence, but it's not clear if it will lead to change. I'm shaking my head. But anyway, that's your silly story for today. But it's crazy how much they're tearing apart the cities. So don't harass guys. Stop. I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. Like Trump said to the people who are being so-called anti-Semitic or whatever. I don't like it. I don't know about it, but I'll say it right to the camera. Stop it. No, he said it actually like manly and tough, not fake authority. Stop it. What's raising concerns? Report the ladies at the Skim. Harassment. Not cackling Kamala harassment, but harassment. Did you know that it can be pronounced harassment? Earlier this week, the ADL, Anti-Defamation League. They do not like this defamation of white people. Just kidding. They love it. They revel in defaming whites and Christians and the black Hebrew Israelites who think that they're the real Jews. Because they don't want to look at their own hatred and be honest about that, evil people. Fighting hate for good. Jonathan Greenblatt. Their report, they're supposedly Jews who protect Jews from defamation, but they only increase the resentment towards the Jews by being typical unchristian complainers. We'll call them that. Okay? Their report found that online harassment is at an all-time high. And I like pronouncing it harassment, so that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Even though it may be incorrect, I don't know. And I believe that, Jewish people, they have, especially these guys, they're a little bit white, so they like to stick to some semblance of facts. Even though they don't give the whole truth. Because that's how I know that facts are not truth. They deceive with facts. But they're probably correct that online harassment is at an all-time high. Well, as I mentioned yesterday, I think when I presented the intro, I pretended like I was going to cover it yesterday, about this story. Yeah, internet usage is at an all-time high. They're having all the Zoomers and younger people and millennials and Gen X and boomers and maybe even some older people using the internet. So, of course, harassment is high. And also, you are some of the people spreading anger, resentment, suspicion, complainers. Nobody likes a complainer, so you're just inviting more hatred on yourself, And victims become perpetrators because people who feel like victims are the most hate-filled, perpetrating people that you want to meet. It's true. Look into it. The so-called civil rights organization, meaning communist, evil, should be kicked out of America, honestly. But justifiably. We're not like the Germany stuff. Right? Right. So-called civil rights organization said that over half of Americans reported facing online harassment in their lifetime. Haven't we all? With many experiencing it on platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Reddit. That's because everybody's using those. The ADL noted almost every demographic saw a rise in hate and harassment. However, the surge is affecting the LGBTQIA+ community the most because they're being perps the most. Or a lot. And they're wanting to get all, look at me. They like attention. Well, they're going to also get negative attention. Not to justify it. Don't harass, guys. Show love. Don't hate. Appreciate. Well, don't appreciate the evil, but they're human beings. The rise comes amid an increase in anti-LGBTQIA+ bills in the United States. And they're acting like, oh, well, they're not saying it, but they're pretending that the Republicans who are passing these lame bills that don't go far enough, or they're barking up the wrong tree, or they're not dealing with other issues, real issues. They're just following what the women, the conservative women, want to be about, pretending that they're standing up for the women. Psh, no men in women's sports. I saw a clip where Trump, and actually I think I saw it on the American Anchor Baby yesterday, maybe 2 days ago, ago. I cracked. I'm growing. Trump is going to ban S-word all mutilation of children, something like that. You know, mutilation of children. And so I saw this tweet from Destiny, which is a girl's name. It's a girl name. But Stephen Bennell, he's a man, guys. He's Trump's gonna get rid of what's that thing? Circumcision? Based, he said. Because a lot of people don't like this circumcision stuff that they're doing to the kids. And so I don't think that's what he was talking about. I think he was talking about the hormones that they give to the kids, because the imagination is, if they prevent them from going through puberty, then they won't be so mannish when they turn into women, into wannabe women. Psst, terrible. What a setup. So evil. So sick. So those are some of the laws. They're making laws against that stuff, right? It's mostly against the T. I wish that it was also against the LGB. There's a whole lot of LGBs against the Ts. And the LGBs, that's not what you are either. That's also imagination. They're like, oh, but we stand in reality. You're not standing in reality. You have a S-word wall. You're S-wordly disoriented. Disorientated. All right. Yeah, but don't. And look, we had that. Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Before I get to calls, I was going to get to calls right now, but give me 5 minutes. I'll spend no more than 5 minutes, maybe even less, on this. I don't want to say his name. Sour grapes against Bud Light from the guy who got sponsored by Bud Light for being the... And guy is not non-gendered, by the way. For being not morally or genderly straight. Quote, for a company to hire a trans person, this is from Commie Nonsense Network. They're sharing a quote from this person because he's human. For a company to hire a trans person, I don't even want to say it in an effeminate voice, and then not publicly stand by them is worse, in my opinion, than not hiring a trans person at all. Well, I can agree with that. Because not hiring a so-called trans person at all is much better than hiring it and then not standing by him publicly. Anyway, because it gives Oops, I spit. I need to calm down. Because it gives customers permission to be as transphobic and hateful as they want. And that's what this person who calls this person's self, for the sake of my channel, right? Because I don't want to call him himself. Dylan Mulvaney. Talk about ungrateful, right? The so-called trans influencer whose partnership. Isn't that a gay word? With Bud Light, that's the beer, which I disavow beer. Don't be drunk on wine or beer, Brett Kavanaugh, but be filled with the Spirit. Sparked weeks of outrage from conservatives and normal people who are not even conservative, right? Led to the several complications for the brand. Did they lose like 25% market something? Cap, whatever cap is. I don't know what that is. Mulvaney says, she? What? Oh, CNN. I'm so disgusted I've like started mock throwing up, and I don't like that. But maybe because I think it's kind of funny. But that's not Men don't cringe. Mulvaney says, they say she, but it's not a she. That's hateful to call that a she. Mulvaney a she. Has been threatened, of course, and I disavow threats, and ridiculed. Ridicule, I don't disavow ridicule. Ridicule can be good for you. I get ridiculed by my chat, and sometimes it's good for me. In public, and worries that such hate has bigger consequences for LGBTQ communities. So-called community. It's not a community. Has it been less than 5 minutes? Are you proud of me? But anyway, like you would think that this person would be grateful for them trying, or consider that, yeah, you're living in your own little world where you think everybody accepts the nonsense that you push, but no, normal people don't. Just because YouTube props you up, just because the so-called president props you up, and he's really the president, but I just call him so-called just because out of malice, dismissiveness. I don't want to harbor any malice towards Sleepy Joe, because Sleepy Joe propped him up, and so you really thought that the whole rest of society was for you? Give me a break. Okay, hopefully that's been less than 5 minutes. Let me get to Jeff in Louisiana. Jeff, thank you for calling, man. Thanks for holding. What is up?
Hey, man, I don't want to yell at you, but I have a question for you.
Mumbles. Repeat what you said. Your friends call you Mumbles, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it to be offensive.
No, I'm not trying to be offensive either, but I want to ask you a question.
All right.
Based on listening to you, on the way you could every cuss word, everything, I mean, you said everything. Have you ever had sex?
Why are you asking me that? This is a personal question, and kids listen to the show, ladies listen to the show. What are you talking about?
No kids listen to your show, man.
Yes, they do.
Okay, man, you want to ask a question?
You should know better than to ask me that question. And I didn't understand the meaning of what you said leading up to that. It sounded like you were saying something somewhat not inappropriate. What did you say leading up to that?
I didn't say nothing not inappropriate.
Yeah.
I said you cut off every word you say. You can't say it's your channel because Jesse cusses. Jesse says curse words, but you bleep out everything. So that's my point.
Oh,
okay,
so since I bleep out the, like Hassan and I both said the S word instead of the SEX word that you said all the way out.
Okay,
you didn't want to even just. Oh, he just hung up. He hung up on me. Terrible. I think he might have been mad. Answer the question, Hake. LOL. Lots of laughs. Mumble's getting frisky. And I like that guy. And he likes us. Sometimes he gets irritated with how I act and talk, which is understandable. Yeah, Hake. Is Hake the most annoying, obnoxious of hosts on JLP Network? No, he still likes me. But it's a like-hate. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. I think it's understandable. Let me read a few super chats, or at least one. I saw one come in, at least. Over on, Oh, no, I already read that one. That's not a new super chat. I thought a new super chat. Oh, should I open the treasure chest, though, on D Live? Which I don't like D Live. But I like you guys. I like the people on D Live. So I shall give you chest. Treasure chest. Obama chest. Obama's sunken chest. Treasure in Obama's sunken chest. Okay, so we're opening the treasure chest for you guys. Let me double check over on Rumble. We're fine there, I think. Right, guys? We're fine on D Live, Odyssey. Oh, hey. There's some super chats on Streamlabs. Riley JM says, it's Mumbles from Ed Bassmaster. Oh, that's the guy who was funny on YouTube sometimes, right? He would just go... He would blow people off. Or something like that. Just so dismissive. Nice, man. Nice. But I didn't really get the point of your call, Jeff from Louisiana. Are you really kill the ego? I totally like the guy. He sometimes feels sorry for like blacks or women or something. I'm not sure. The key on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Dylan can double for Kelly Ripa in that video. You're talking about this Mulvaney female-minded liberal male. Kelly Ripa. In which video are you referring? Kelly Ripa. These references are over my head. Oh, yeah, Kelly Ripa. She's an actress, 52 years old, mildly attractive. Married, of course, 1996, and doesn't say that she's from New Jersey. New Jersey. I've learned the New Jersey accent from our new producer, Jesse's new producer, Sean. And from this caller on the American Anchor Baby, check it out at 4 p.m. Pacific time today, Steve Strack. Did she? Oh, she did the talk show host. Ooh, it's getting cold in here. Chilly. We can turn off the AC or raise it a couple of degrees. So that raise the thermostat a couple of degrees. So thank you. Kindly. Okay, so yeah, I poor ladies. You know, this transgender thing has made you question it. Question, like, there are women out there who are mannish, and a lot of you guys are making all these assumptions that different ladies, and I use the term loosely, are really men. Okay, there may be another Buy Me a Coffee. And it's a shame. It's a terrible shame. Oh, I'm looking at Ko-Fi. Spoiler alert, bought a coffee. Riots in France? Question mark. Import the third world. Become the third world. Demographics is destiny. For better or for worse. Nice. See also the book. Well, I put demographics is destiny. Yeah, but import the third world, become the third world. Or second world, which is communist. Second world is communist. Did you know? See also the book, The Camp of the Saints, a 1973 French dystopian fiction novel by author and explorer Jean Raspail. I don't know how to pronounce anything in French. Except for Macron, which is probably awful. A speculative fictional account. It depicts the destruction, The Camp of the Saints, a 1973 French dystopian fiction novel by author and explorer Jean Raspail. Raspail. A speculative fictional account. It depicts the destruction of Western civilization through third world mass immigration to France and the Western world. And he links a Wikipedia thing to it. The Camp of the Saints. Wow. Oof. Interesting. And these females at the Skim, and these communists at CNN, and, you know, the mainstream media, and the very unchristian, not normal white forces and female-minded liberal males and cowardly, don't say this word, kids. I don't know if I want to say it. C word. Not that. I shouldn't even. But the cowardly people who surrender what's rightfully theirs not out of love or actual justice, but out of cowardly kiss-upness. So disgusting. Makes you want to spit. Will justify that self-destruction. Yes, destroy yourselves. Formerly white Christian countries. Terrible. Let's talk about the riptides. It's summertime in the LBC and also elsewhere in the Northern Hemisphere. Explain winter in the Down Under, you flat earthers. Any flat earthers in Australia, New Zealand? I doubt it. No, maybe. If you're from New Zealand or Australia and you're a flat earther and you listen to Hake, let me know. Press 5 in the comments section. Anyway, here's riptides and currents, rip currents. A little tip for you guys. How to survive a riptide, which is different from a rip current, but they call it a rip current, a riptide. A riptide is worse. Water safety, flip, float, and follow. Are you drowning? Remember, flip up and like float kind of on your back with your chest and head sticking out as much as you possibly can. Shout out to Sublime, Summertime in the LBC. I was thinking the rap song. Is it from Sublime too? Maybe it is. Yeah, so swim either parallel to shore or just let this tide or current take you out away from the shore. Just show some of these pictures. You can kind of cycle through them because I'm in a hurry. We got to play some Jacky Cheung. Actual Jacky Cheung. Relax is one of the things they say. Relax. Remain calm. Remain calm. Isn't that great advice for practically anything? Maybe everything. Call for help if you're not a strong swimmer. Help! Don't be ashamed. Float or tread water until you can swim out of the current. Because it doesn't pull you under. That's undertow that pulls you under, and it doesn't. And undertow lets up, I think. Hopefully. Most rip currents weaken about 50 to 100 yards from shore, so 2 to 3 minutes or whatever. And then swim like diagonal towards the shore once you're out of it. And you can avoid them in the first place by getting to a high point, a high vantage point, like a cliff or something, and look for where the water seems to be pulling out, pulling the seaweed and debris, when the waves are not hitting so hard there, you know? Cool. Nice. So, and by the way, a true riptide is a type of current that occurs offshore at an inlet, and they're happening like endlessly, I think. I don't know, whatever. So watch out for that, people. And here's your other PSA. Don't go off hiking by yourself. People! Do I have pictures of Julian Sands? I think I do. Even if you're a mountaineer, 65 years old, and an actor, and famous and awesome, he died. He was in arachnophobia. He had that schnoz, because he's from somewhere, some country where they have schnozzes. Julian Sands, Mount Baldy. He went to Mount Baldy. I love Mount Baldy. That's where I met some Baked Alaska and other Trump supporters, Based Stickman and Brittany Pettibone, maybe, or whatever she used to be called. This guy died. He went off the beaten path. Don't go off the beaten path, especially not by yourself, people. He died. They found his remains. He disappeared in January, and they just found his remains. So if you hike alone, be wise about it. So don't go off hiking alone, especially ladies, but he's not a lady. He's tough. Well, he's not tough anymore. He's dead. Maybe he's tough in heaven or looking up from heaven. We wish him, we will rest in peace, man. Terrible. Oof. Awful. So that was the Hake report, guys. Hope you liked it. I don't know if Doom Jesus truly left. He left after an hour of nonsense and some beautiful Jacky Cheung. But here's some Jacky Cheung. Enjoy Jacky Cheung. And it's some Chinese song with 2 Chinese characters that is translated drunken fist. Don't be drunken, guys, but here it is. And adios, guys. And I'll hang with you a little bit. Here it is. Nice. Get pumped. I think it's from a movie, Drunken Master. Nice. Actually, Jacky Cheung, I think.
我颠颠倒倒，好比浪涛，有万种的委屈付之一笑。我一下低，我一下高，摇摇晃晃不肯倒，酒里乾坤我最知道。江湖中闯名号，从来不用刀。
Nice.
记着重担，我一肩挑，不喊冤也不求饶，对情敌我肯弯腰，最终先好汉一条。
So nice.
莫说狂狂人心存不到。
Thought this would be nice to finish out the month. Strong finish for June. Too much China music lately, Hake. What the? Legend of the Drunken Master. Yes. Nice. Hake has been purchased by Disney. Hey. That sounds like Jacky Cheung. 再见, Hake. So I think I still will play more Jacky and Andy, but intermittently. Maybe every like Friday. Friday Bob music. 千斤的重担我一肩挑，不喊冤也不求饶，对情义我肯弯腰，最终先好汉一条。They copied Thai music. Wouldn't be surprised. 莫笑痴因痴心难找，莫怕醉过海阔天高，且狂且是且醉在今朝。 Oh. The fallen state should be happening. And American Anchor Baby. So good. So just to clarify, guys, some of you guys are asking. I do believe, indeed, that the fallen state, just a little outro here, since I have like a minute. The fallen state will be happening. I don't see it either, but it should be up on the YouTube shortly, okay? In time for noon, certainly. And, of course, on other platforms. And American Anchor Baby at 4 p.m. This feels anticlimactic to have a boring voice, but that's okay. And at 4 p.m. Pacific time, roughly, right? American Anchor Baby, Nickstream. And then, of course, Church with Jesse Lee Peterson on Sunday. Thanks, guys, and see you for White History Month. We will be live on Monday and Tuesday, even though it's the 3rd and 4th. Okay? So that's the plan. See ya, man. Bye.